Hi, this is John Hawkins Jr. with Gateway Counseling Center, and this is our Tuesday night YouTube Live. I'm a licensed psychotherapist here in South Florida. We're in Boynton Beach, Florida. I specialize in working with trauma, all types of addictions, couples therapy, and I do peak performance work with a lot of business owners, athletes, things like that. We're a full service counseling center. We do individual, family, relationship counseling. We've been here for a little over 10 years now in Boynton Beach. And we do these every Tuesday night at 7:15, where we just answer questions from the public, some things that former clients, want to get answers to, or some more support on. Just trying to provide some, good information to help people in any way we can. So you can reach us throughout the week on our Facebook page at Gateway Counseling Center on Facebook. You can reach me at jonh@gatewaycounseling.com, answer any questions that come in. So I just take usually like a lot of things that clients have been working on or asking about, or the questions come in during the week, and kind of summarize those in present them on Tuesday night, give you answers to those questions. So if you have any things, like I said, you can send those to me throughout the week and be more than happy to respond to those every Tuesday night at 7:15 there. Also, you can reach us on Instagram at Gateway Center. One of the things that is a big part of my work in therapy that I've been working with a lot of people this week, and some of the questions that are related to this, is developing a sense of self. And so maybe you've heard that term or aren't quite sure what that means, or if you have one or don't have one. I can really give you some clear indicators of whether you don't have a good sense of self or if you have one, and I'll explain how that develops. So having a good sense of self will enable you to, the reason why it's important is it enables you to, express your own viewpoint, your own opinions, respectfully, healthily disagree with others, feel good about what you like, what you don't like, pursuing things that are authentic to you, and having people in your life that are safe, that, have a sense of self, allowing others to have a sense of self. So you can hear the lack of it in a lot of people's statements when they say things like, well, how could you feel that way? Or why do you think that? Or, they try to force their beliefs on you. They have a small sense of self, and so they're really threatened by yours. It's hard for them to make room for you to allow to have your own sense of self. You see this nowhere to show more than in close relationships. One of the biggest problems, I work with a lot of couples, do a lot of couples therapy, is it's really hard, even for like decently healthy people, to what I call really make room for each other's experience. So, if your partner says, man, I really feel hurt by that, or that's, really saddens me, and you're really offended by that, or how could you feel that way, or what, like, I meant, this by that, or, we really kind of internalize each other's experience because we don't have a strong sense of self, because most of us don't grow up in environments that really fully produce that. So if I have a good sense of who I am and I don't internalize everyone else's experience, my partner can tell me that they feel lonely or unimportant recently in our marriage or relationship, and I don't feel like I'm failing or get all defensive, but I get curious and say, okay, tell me more. Like, I'm confused because we've been spending a lot of time together, and I'm not sure why you feel lonely, but I'm allowing you to feel lonely, and I'm welcoming you into that space to talk about it, versus what most people do is say, how could you feel that way? We've spent it every night together, right? Which is a normal human reaction. Doesn't mean I'm abusive or anything like that, but it's, I internalized your experience because there's not like a good, healthy self-boundary between us. So when you grow up in a home at different levels where either, certain feelings aren't accepted or tolerable, like don't cry about that, or, don't be afraid, or don't get too excited about that, then this aspect of you is either shamed, or you have to kind of put it away to maintain approval and acceptance. Or you grow up in a home where it has, strong political beliefs or religious beliefs, and if those differ from yours and what you're starting to feel like or believe, then those aren't accepted, or a safe space isn't created for you as a kid or adolescent to, if you're grow up in a family's Democrat, but you're thinking more conservative Republican views, or vice versa. If they're Republican, you think more liberal views, and your parents get incensed that you have these opinions, or especially in the area of spirituality, people get really afraid when you question and explore things, which is the only way to really come to a true, authentic spirituality. So then a lot of times either people go to one extreme or the other. They rebel against everything from their family of origin, even though parts of that may be authentic to them, or they'll just go ahead and ascribe and believe to everything, even though it may not be authentic to them, or family rules, or all these kind of things. So one of the things, in changing that is starting to accept all thoughts, feelings, views within yourself as acceptable and explore them. You might have a violent impulse or thought, or a sexual impulse or thought. It doesn't mean I'm violent or I'm promiscuous, but it's part of human experience. And so, I can explore that. Like I had a client one time that all of a sudden they were heterosexual, but they started having attractions towards this other same-sex person, and they kind of were a little bit freaked out by it. But as usual, I asked them just to kind of, let's take it slow, let's explore that together. And what it was that they both experienced a very similar loss, and so there was this real strong emotional connection that you can identify with what I feel. And then whenever this person throughout their history had gotten emotionally close to somebody like that, it had always been in a sexual relationship. So then the brain associates things together like peanut butter and jelly. So once they got to this level, like emotional closeness, it activated like the sexual attraction. And so they were heterosexual, but it still activated this same-sex attraction, which once they understood what was happening, that attraction left. And that was very specific to that situation. I'm not saying that's where same-sex attraction comes from or anything like that. I'm just saying in that specific incident. So once they accepted this within themselves and were able to explore it without judgment, they could understand kind of the origin. And it could have been, 100 different things. Or, somebody could have an impulse of like, I just want to slaughter this person. Or I had a client one time where they just envisioned everybody who was close to them just like stabbing them and slaughtering them. And of course they were really upset and they're like, what's wrong with me? Am I homicidal? And I was able to really explore with them. They had their spouse go through a really painful, chronic disease where they had that, have losses, and they weren't going to be able to have children. And everybody was just giving them like platitudes or spiritualizing everything and not really connecting with how painful it was for them. They were trying to like put too nice of a bow on it. And so, their need for the close people to understand like the level of pain that they're in was trying to be met through this like image of them showing them how much pain they were in, And so like when you have, again, I try to create an environment for all aspects of self-experience to come forward so the person can explore them without judgment and integrate them within their self. Because in both these situations, these are acceptable parts of the person's experience that then to heal and get to the bottom of it, we had to be able to explore it without judgment. So really, I would encourage you to work on that, to start to, accept parts of yourself maybe that you don't typically, or surprise you, or work towards allowing that in others. So if your friend or partner or somebody comes in, they have a very different opinion of you, don't feel the need, I need to change them and make them like me. How disinteresting would the world be if that was the case, where everybody was just like me, So, be curious, invite them into that, really, like, tell me more, or, just start to develop that ability to accept yourself, accept others, and create environments and build relationships in your life where you do that and you give that and receive that. You have people in your life like that, so you can really finish developing that really strong sense of self, like I said, because it's the basis for living an authentic life and also having the ability to have really healthy, deeply intimate relationships. So if I just lose myself so you won't leave me or stay connected, you never really experience deep connection, because you have to have two individuals to come together to really experience like that depth of connection. If it's just like, okay, I'm giving up who I am to be with you, you get, this kind of surface level connection, but there's no depth, no real like deep power to it. So that's my words for the week there, and answering some of the questions that clients have been answering me today. A lot of them were related. I kind of compiled into that discussion on sense of self. If you have more thoughts, comments, questions, again, reach us on Gateway Center on Instagram, Gateway Counseling Center on Facebook, gatewaycounseling.com. You can always contact us there if you want to schedule a session or get in touch with one of us. You can reach me at jonh@gatewaycounseling.com. You can also read my daily posts and blogs on Facebook at John D. Hawkins Jr. Those go up every 7 days a week, some encouraging images and just thoughts of mine, kind of a blog post every day, that I'll, welcome comments and shares, anything there on there. So just let us know any way we can be a help to you. We're here every Tuesday night, 7:15. Love to, just be a service to everybody in the community. Keep reaching out to us, and anyone that you feel could benefit from tonight's YouTube live in any way, share it with them, tag them forward, whatever platform you're using. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a great week.